Pikmin, a GameCube classic, one I've played many times. But I lost it. I'm pretty sure it's in one of my Wiis, but I don't feel like looking for it right now.
Pikmin is a franchise that I hold near and dear to my heart. It's a game I played over and over again as a kid. Even if I couldn't beat it, I did the same with 3 and eventually 2. I played them out of order, I know. But that doesn't hurt how much I love all of these games. And with the release of Pikmin 4, at the time of this recording, coming very, very close,
I thought, what better time than right now to go back and look at the entire franchise. Starting, of course, with Pikmin.
Pikmin was released on December 3rd, 2001 here in North America for Nintendo's worst-selling console at the time, the GameCube. It then later came to the Wii on March 9th, 2009, and then to the Switch on June 21st, 2023. And for the purposes of this review, I played through every version of the game, the GameCube version, the Wii version, and the Switch version. I will primarily be using footage from the Switch version because it looks the nicest, but just know I did play all of them, and that will come into play for a section of the review later. This is not a video discussing which version is the best, this is just my review of the core Pikmin game. I will talk a bit about version differences, especially in the controls, a little bit later, but for now, on to the review. Oh man, it's good to be home. No matter how many times I boot up this title screen, it always fills me with a great sense of nostalgia. Jumping right into the game, we open on the brave Captain Olimar, flying through space on his way home from some job, probably shipping or something. As we find out in Pikmin 2, he works for a shipping company. When I first found out about this as a kid, I didn't think of like shipping as in like shipping containers or like freight stuff. I was like, oh, Amazon. Just imagine how funny it would be to see Olimar riding in a FedEx truck all like, oh, blah, 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 and then he delivers you a box.
Oh boy, Minecraft Wii U edition.
Anyways, our mailman is flying through space when, BAM! He gets struck by a meteor and crash lands on a strange alien world, and his ship has all been but completely destroyed, and to make matters worse, he will die in 30 days from this planet's poisonous oxygen. We now have some control of Olimar, and after wandering around for a little bit, we stumble across the red Pikmin onion. Pikmin being named after Olimar's favorite carrot brand, and onions after onions. It's not that deep. But I always really like this opening part where the camera's locked in this tight position and then zooms out when you find the onion. It's just kind of a subtle way to show how much greater your options have gotten now, and I think that's awesome. Once you have the Pikmin, the rest of the level opens up to you. There are no enemies on the impact site in day 1, so you can take your time to learn the game's controls at your own pace, and I think it's a great idea. Pikmin, though not hard to control, can be a bit finicky at times, and I'm not a big fan of the way Pikmin controls on the GameCube after going back to it.
On GameCube, you move both the pointer and Olimar with the analog stick, which is just frustrating for me to control, honestly. Barty, you might be saying, what does the C-stick do? Well, young one, use the C-stick for the swarm ability, which helps you get multiple Pikmin on an object at once. I don't know, I just think the whole movement and pointer thing to be kind of clunky. I mean, it works, but after I played the Wii version, I just really couldn't go back. The Wii version uses the pointer to aim, and oh yes! I love this way, 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 way more. You have so much range, and it's really easy to be precise. In order to swarm, you hold down the D-pad and move your pointer. It's so nice. The only thing I have against the Wii controls is that when you're mashing the A button, it's a bit hard to keep the pointer on things, but it isn't that much of a problem. It's just one that And the Switch controls, why? So, crossbreeding is in right now, apparently. You know, you must think that there must be motion controls in this game. Pikmin 3 Deluxe has motion controls. Guess what, bucko? Nope. In this game, there is motion controls, but only when you're holding down the B button to whistle or holding down the A button to aim. And even then, it's locked to just the normal pointer controls. Other than that, it's basically just the GameCube again. It makes no sense. Why not just use gyro like they did in Pikmin 3? Nintendo, please!
I mean, my god, Metroid Prime Remastered had all the control schemes in it, the bad GameCube ones, the Wii's, and now making the game control like normal. I just wish we got the same for Pikmin, but I digress. It's not a big deal. The game's still fun. We'll get back onto that. After exploring the impact site and recovering the first ship part, the engine, we blast off into the night sky because there's nocturnal predators that come out at night, so we must leave with this, honestly, banger music playing that I love. It has this kind of quiet loneliness to it, and I think it's really cool. And every night, Olimar writes about his day and his family, which brings more stakes to this adventure. If you fail, and he dies, Olimar never gets to see his family again, which would be such a tragic thing, and I think it's just such a nice touch. The whole game takes place over 5 areas: the quiet and peaceful impact site, the beautiful and mysterious Forest of Hope, the dark and murky Forest Navel, the foggy distant spring, and the foreboding final trial. It is in these places that we come across large monsters and bosses that will all try to get in your way as you journey through the twisting paths of this strange planet. But, with the Pikmin by your side, there's nothing you can't accomplish. Traversing each area with your Pikmin, deciding whether you want to first kill all of the enemies and open shortcuts, or maybe just go for the ship part you see and hope for the best, is the name of the game. Being able to take things at your own pace while staying within the time limit, I think is really fun. It makes no real playthrough ever feel the same, and it's brilliant. And this idea of exploration is made even better by the idea of multiple Pikmin colors. We have red, yellow, and of course, blue. The red Pikmin are stronger than each other type of Pikmin, and they're also immune to fire. Yellow Pikmin are lighter, so they can be thrown higher, and are the only type that can carry bomb rocks for some reason. And lastly, blue Pikmin are the only type that can go in water. So, knowing what Pikmin to take where is important. Do I want to use reds to carry things past fire geysers, or do I risk it and make blues and yellows carry it and just hope I can call them off before they burn to death? I mean, I could do that, but I wouldn't. But that's part of the fun. It's the same with combat. You could just take an army of a bunch of colors and fight the enemy, but things might not end well. Or you could just use red Pikmin and attack it from the right angle to stun lock things into becoming Pikmin food. Or you could even use bomb rocks to blow up the enemy and probably not lose any Pikmin at all. The choice is really just yours. Do you maybe want to take a day or two to harvest more Pikmin and then turn as many of them as you can into flower Pikmin, which are both faster and stronger? Funny story, I actually have a flower that grows in my yard every year that kinda looks like a Pikmin flower to kid me. It's white and had the yellow inside, and there's more petals though. But in Pikmin Bloom, there's different types of flower heads. I'll be right back. The boss fights in Pikmin, just like in real life, are scattered all over the place. Most of them have a part inside of them, which is cool, but the best part is that they don't really have their own dedicated boss arenas, so sometimes you just open a new area and boom, boss falls on top of you. It makes the game feel incredibly magical your first time through, not knowing what's behind each corner, and a different kind of fun on your next playthrough. Now that you know it's there, you can prepare more effectively for them. It's super fun! After killing all of the bosses and retrieving the other ship parts, we head off to the final trial, in which we get a small puzzle challenge before we enter the boss arena to kill the mighty Emperor Bulblacks, which is cool. The Bulborbs are like the most common enemy in the game, and the final boss, not being the king, but the emperor of all Bulborbs, will never not be cool to me. But, as with anything in this game, with some well-placed sacrifices and tosses, the Emperor goes down, and we retrieve Olimar's final ship part, his piggy bank. And with this, Olimar takes off from the Dolphin and says goodbye to the Pikmin to return home, and finally deliver me my Guitar Hero guitar, which I ordered 5 months ago and still hasn't showed up. That is if you get the good ending. Yeah, that's right. Pikmin 1 has 3 endings. The good ending, where you collect all 30 ship parts. The ending, where you didn't collect all the ship parts, because 5 of them, including the last one, are all optional and you don't need them to leave. But just like get all 30 parts, it's not that hard, and the game doesn't tell you what they are until after you beat it anyways. The ending is Olimar dipping off into space and going home to hopefully deliver me my package. But in the bad ending, Olimar takes off and crashes back down, and the Pikmin take him back to the onion and plant him in the ground, which is cool and might be returning in Pikmin 4. Wink wink, nudge nudge. But you should really get the good ending anyways. It's way past cool, and you get these awesome descriptions of all the enemies you've encountered on your quest. And for some reason, in the Switch version, Wollywogs are called Wollyhops, and that's not their name, damn it! I hate them, they kill all my guys and piss me off, but I'll at least call them by their name. Sorry about that. Also, in this video, it shows off the 3 optional boss fights, with the Mamuda, Gulix, and of course, the Smoky Prog. They're cool, but not necessary to fight to beat the game, so I'm not going to talk about them much, other than the Smoky Prog drops an item that isn't found anywhere else in the game to my knowledge, so that's cool. But yeah, that's about it for Pikmin. I want to end on a story really quickly though. When I was a kid, I couldn't beat this game. And one day my cousin came down for a visit from out of town with his mom, and we sat in my room taking turns on each day playing Pikmin until day 4, where I just gave up and gave all my turns to him and let him play. And there we were, the 2 of us playing this game, and it was that day when I finally saw the good end of the game. Olimar didn't die and the day was saved. It was magical to me back then, and that memory in this game will forever hold a special place in my heart. And I asked my cousin to give a statement on this game, and here's what he said.
For me, Pikmin was the big jacked guy on the beach, stealing my sand castles and kicking my girl. No, I was just a bedwetting baby boy who could only replay the first 3 days of Pikmin for the whole 30 days. And that was most games when I was a kid. I was even too scared to play Luigi's Mansion. But coming back to it years later, I was a man. Well, I guess I wasn't quite a man, but I had the hairy upper lip of a man, that's for sure. But golly OG did I ever give Luigi's Mansion and Pikmin the smackdown this time around. On that fateful day, I felt like Ninja Blevins, being served sandwiches without the bra by his crustless wife. I don't know why, but for some reason the whole family thought it was impossible. First try, I got the day like 27 or 28 and just cranked out as many Soldier Boys as I could, preparing for the final boss. Being totally honest with you, I don't really remember. I just remember rolling in with the boys. Born anew. Bringing honor to the family name. To the Barty name. And I don't know. That's all I got to say about this.
And that's all.
Except for playing on the map screen. That's literally the best part of the game. Snagrets. Why did it have to be Snagrets? Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. It's good to see you again. Yeah, today I'm just out looking for treasure. Actually, an ancient artifact said to wield immense power. But currently I've been stopped in my tracks by a nest of burrowing Snagrets. So, in the meantime, I'm just gonna sit here and think of a way through, and maybe ask myself, what would the brave Captain Indiana Olimar do in this very same situation.
Pikmin 2! Pikmin 2! Pikmin 2! What a game! What a way to piss me off! But we'll get to that. Pikmin 2 is the third game I played in the Pikmin series, and unlike 1, I played the Wii version of 2. I didn't actually know the GameCube version existed for the longest time. I have some not so great memories with this game compared to the first, but I was bad at games back then, and still am now, so on my journey to review and replay the entire series, we're now going to be playing through and talking about Pikmin 2. Oh boy. I just have to say really quickly, I love the title screen music in this game, and I mean love the title screen music. It gives off such a great vibe, and every single time I hear it, I just want to go on an adventure. Jumping into the game, we are shown Captain Olimar returning home after a long 12 days stuck on the Pikmin planet. He lands his ship at his place of work and finds out that his new co-worker, Louie, was attacked by a ravenous space bunny while on a job, and it ate all of the golden Pick brand carrots that he had on hand. And now, the company is in debt, and he has to pay off the 10,000 Pokos in order to keep the company in business. After selling off Olimar's ship and a bottle cap he brought home from his son, he and Louie are sent off back into space to go and get treasure. Without even getting to say hi to his family, Olimar is right back out in space. I just want to mention real quick that that bottle cap was worth more than a year's salary. That either makes Pokos worth like nothing, or worth a lot. Like, is 0.10 Poco the cost of bread or something? I have no idea. I just find it interesting. But anyways, it looks like it's time for Olimar to hang up his FedEx hat and don the fedora as the newer, braver, treasure hunterer, Captain Indiana Olimar. Once Olimar and Louie return to the planet, they hit a tree and Louie is sent flying. We then see some red Pikmin beating up a dwarf Bulborb, which is neat. These guys have some autonomy now, and they can kind of survive on their own a bit, which I think is just really cool. But, soon after, Olimar and Louie reunite, and they find their first piece of treasure, the courage... Oh, no.
Oh no! Those bastards at Nintendo! They removed the product placement from the Wii and GameCube versions to the Switch version! No!
That's right. In the Wii and GameCube versions of this game, we had product placement, Duracell batteries, Snapple bottle caps, and much, much more. And it's all gone in the Switch version, and I am sad! I know it's dumb, but I think it was a really cool oddity of the old game, and I wish it had returned in the recent re-release. It's not a big deal at the end of the day, but I still don't have to like it. I mean, it makes the line from the ship, where it says, "Oh yeah, the ship talks, by the way," make less sense when it says, "Let me be the one to come up with the names for these hit products." But after gathering the non-Duracell battery, we take off into space and get to look at the new map screen, which I think is both better and worse than the original. I think it looks a lot better, but it's not as fun to fly around on. The next morning, when you return to the planet, you will inevitably stumble across the very first cave.
I wish I was in a cave. Instead I'm in this shitty shelter I built. I get it!
The caves are a very hot topic in the Pikmin fandom. Some people love them, some people don't, and all I have to say about them is... I am totally in a middle ground to these. On one hand, exploring these underground pits of terror is really fun for like 75% of the game, and the random layouts on the floors make no two playthroughs really the same. But when you get to the part when bombs or enemies or just rocks fall out of the sky on top of all of your guys and kill them,
and there's really nothing you could have done about it, then I get mad. I find the harder caves not hard because the game balances them well and they're a test of my skills. I find the hard caves hard when I spawn on the floor and immediately a Wollywog crushes a bunch of my guys as I'm trying to just look around, or a bomb falls out of the sky and kills all my Pikmin and I have to reset. The game saves after every floor, so you can just close the game and reload it if anything bad happens. And on this playthrough, I spent approximately 17 hours playing this game. And on my save file, it says I played for a little over 14. I spent at least 3 hours just resetting the game and reloading floors. That's mostly due to the introduction of two new Pikmin types found only in the caves. The purple and white Pikmin. Purples can carry up to the weight of 10 Pikmin, but they are fat and slow. They also have a Stunlock Slam attack, which is the most busted move in the game. And they are the main reason I reset, because they're only found in the caves and have that awesome death combo. But the main reason why is in the last area, the Wistful Wilds, there is a treasure that takes 100 purple Pikmin to carry, and that's a hard number to get. I just can't stand losing them because I don't want to have to come back and get more. But whites, yeah, let them die.
Nah, I say let it die. Let it die, let it die, let it shrivel up.
White Pikmin are insanely fast, and they're also immune to poison, and they also have the ability to dig up hidden treasures. So they're like really useful, and I really like having them, but I'm just not going to restart a whole floor if one dies. Plus, with the two new types, we also have the other three returning from the first game. Reds, yellows, and blues. Reds are still immune to fire, blues water, but yellows have actually gained the ability of electric resistance. Electricity being the most unbalanced thing ever. It's the only hazard that instantly kills any type that's not yellow. Holy shit does lightning scare me in this game. I get so nervous when I'm around it, knowing if the thing goes off, my Pikmin are all gonna die right away. I hate it. I hate it and it sucks. And I'm so glad it got nerfed in Pikmin 3. Music to my ears. Not music to my ears. Just having these two new types of Pikmin plus all the returning ones is really cool. And it makes me all the madder when there's just this dumb orange Bulborb sitting there at the start of the Snaggered Hole and I can't kill it for no good reason. I can't kill this orange Bulborb for some reason, and it's pissing me off for some reason. And it was at this point I decided that I was going to genocide the entire orange Bulborb race. If there's an orange Bulborb, I am going to kill it. And I am happy to say I did just that. Excluding that orange Bulborb that spawns at the top of the Snaggered Hole, at the end of every cave, there's actually a boss fight. And these are awesome. They're all against either a new or returning boss from the first game. And I love the designs, I love the fights, and I love the fact that after you beat them, you get an upgrade, like an eraser that makes you immune to electricity. It's awesome, and they're really fun to fight, except for the third Empress Ballback's fight at the end, near the end of the Hole of Heroes. God, that one sucks. She spawns these little larva things that are like insanely hard to kill with Pikmin. They'll eat one at least. And then when she does her roll around attack, rocks fall out of the sky and crush you. I hate it! But that's not to take away from just how many cool boss fights these caves have. And I love all of them. It's really satisfying seeing your Pokos go up as you collect treasures. But not too long after you start, you repay the debt and blast off back into the stars. And realize that you left Louie behind. And you get to see this awesome credit sequence where Louie's just wandering around the planet trying to survive, and it's just really funny. But there's still more to the game after this.
You return home and tell the president that there's more treasure on the planet, and when he calls for Louis, who isn't there... I love that every time, it's my favorite part, it's just so funny to me. But, with no Louis, the president decides to come with you instead. I love the writing in this game, it's just super funny. All of the charming cutscenes, the president saying Louis, and the ship talking are just so funny to me. Not even to mention the Piccolopedia or the Treasure Hoard, where Olimar goes on these lengthy scientific talks about the enemies, and Louis talks about cooking and eating them. Oh man. This Bulborb's meaty flakes make for a salacious, savory steaks that shouldn't be missed. Yeah. That's what they deserve. I hope Louis ate all of those orange Bulborbs I killed. Well, after returning to the planet with the president to look for treasure and Louis, we unlock the forest area. Now is probably a good time to talk about those areas. The starting area, the Valley of Repose, is a snowy tundra that is really atmospheric. The second is the Awakening Wood, and... wait a second. This is just the Forest of Hope again. Look, up where the blue onion is, it's where you fight the first armored cannon beetle. And there used to be a pond here. Wow. Things have changed drastically since the last time we were here. Wait, what about the next area, the perplexing pool? It's the distant spring. And the Wistful Wild is the impact site. This is awesome. I love exploring these familiar locations all over again, but with a ton of changes and a new twist. It's some of my favorite things in level design. Each area is a remixed, remade version of the areas from Pikmin 1, with enough changes to make them feel like all new levels. I love this! But that begs the question, what about the Forest Navel? Well, there's a theory that the Forest Navel is hidden deep under this giant manhole in the Valley of Repose. There'll be a link to a funny video about it in the description. And I think that the idea of Olimar revisiting the locations that he already explored in the first game is just really smart. I think it fits with his character. He's just kind of a smart guy, right? Going back to the thing, I think it just makes sense. And the music in all of these areas, and even in the caves, is really good. I think I like Pikmin 2's music more than the first game, but I loved the first game's music as well. They're just both such good soundtracks that, I don't know, they're both great. But I think I like Pikmin 2's just a bit more. But, after Olimar and the President complete a bunch of caves, you are inevitably left with two. The Hole of Heroes, a 15-floor gauntlet of tough enemies and returning bosses, and the Dream Den, location of Louis and the final boss, the Titan Dweevil. These caves don't necessarily have to be your last, though. Other than a few times, you can really tackle any cave in any order you want, so that's really cool. After killing the Titan Dweevil, we retrieve Louis, otherwise known as the King of Bugs, who may have been controlling the creature, which is kind of crazy. And after retrieving Louis and all of the treasures, we blast off back home, and we finally end Pikmin 2. For reals this time. There is so much to like about this game. The better controls, the better Pikmin AI, more cool enemies, and so much more. But the growing flaws of the enemy placement and level design being more focused on combat than ever can really be a turnoff for me. When dumb BS happens, it doesn't make me feel like I had a proper challenge, it just pisses me off. If you play this game, which I totally recommend you do not play it non-stop for 3 days, 5 hours at a time like I did. Please, save your sanity and do other things and break it up over the course of a week or so. There's no time limit anymore, and time doesn't pass underground, so there is really no rush. But all I've talked about so far is the main campaign. There's actually 2 other side modes left that I have yet to mention. First off, we have Challenge Mode, which is returning from Pikmin 1, and it's way better this time. I'm telling you, I filmed a lot of challenge mode for Pikmin 1, and I forgot to put it in my last video, so I'm going to include it here. Pikmin 1 challenge mode review, speedrun. Pikmin 1 Challenge Mode Review Speedrunning is one of the most highly contested categories in all of speedrunning. There had never been a run so perfect, so divine, until one runner stepped up to the challenge and managed to take the world record that had never been taken before. This is that run. You play through remix stages with new enemy placements and object placements in order to grow the most Pikmin in one day, and it's fine, but I've never really liked challenge mode in Pikmin 1. But anyways, in Pikmin 2, oh boy, this is way cooler now. You have a time limit on each floor of a cave, and you need to collect as much treasure as possible and a key in order to descend deeper and get more points. This is way better, and each challenge gives you different layouts and Pikmin to work with. And it's way more fun. You can also tackle these in local co-op with your friends and family, and it's a blast. If you haven't played it, you really should. It is super, super fun. But there is not only challenge mode, but also a 2-player battle mode. Yes, please! 2-player battle mode. Man, I love 2-player battle mode. You know what, since I'm still trying to figure out how to get through the staggered fields on my path to finding that ancient treasure of immense power, I might as well just go home, call up some friends, and play some 2-player battle mode. I kind of forgot I don't have any friends who like Pikmin. What if I tell just a little lie, like Louie did? Hello. If you come over, we have Juice and Halo.
Oh man, that's sick.
Since when have you been here?
Oh dude, I've been here like 4 days.
Hi. Hi. You said there's Halo and Juice?
Yeah, I drank all the juice.
Actually, we were just about to play some Pikmin 2.
Pikmin 2? Screw you guys. I'm leaving.
Looks like just you and me are gonna play Pikmin 2 battle mode, Zach.
Pikmin 2 battle mode? I didn't know we were gonna play Pikmin 2 battle mode.
In 2-player battle mode, you and your friends fight over who is the first to collect 4 yellow marbles or capture your opponent's marble. And it's so fun. Made even funner by the fact that you can get Cupid's grenades on the field, which just give you a special power, like dropping rocks from the sky, or giving you more Pikmin, or just spawning a volatile Dweevil on the other captain. It's so fun and absolutely not fair, but that is the whole point of the game, and it is literally my favorite part of Pikmin 2. There is one last thing that I have yet to mention, and it is about the campaign, and I forgot to add it in the last section, so I'm just going to add it in here. In Pikmin 2, you have the addition of 2 captains, and some people say it makes multitasking way easier, but I've never really seen it. It's definitely better and easier to multitask, but just having one captain sit there and wait, sometimes for a task or have both waiting for 2 tasks to be done, can speed up the process, but you can't move the other captain at the same time. You have to switch between the 2 or bring them both as a group, which is a feature that they really expand on in Pikmin 3, but we'll get to that there. And I still think it's better, but it's not the most refined or most well executed feature in this game. It's still better than Pikmin 1, but knowing what comes after, it's hard for me to look back and say this was the peak of the multi-captain system. And that's my thoughts on Pikmin 2. I want to end on another story real quick. I just, really wanted this game when I was a kid. And one day I was out of town and saw it at the video game store and asked my mom for it, but she said no, we couldn't afford it at the time. But like 10 years later, I asked for it for my birthday, and I got it. It was used, and it was just the disc in like a CD case. But it's still one of the best birthday presents I've ever gotten. Thanks, Mom.
Pikmin 2 is a totally new experience compared to the first game, and I think it's super fun, and I love it. It's not my favorite in the series, but there is so much to like about it, and I think that if you liked the first game, you'll probably like this one too, and if you didn't like the first game due to being timed, you might like this game instead. And hey, it's on Switch now, so there's no better time than now to go out and give it a shot. But the map screen's still less fun to fly on, 0 out of 10. But you can also make the title screen say Nintendo and eat a bunch of Pikmin as a red billboard. 10 out of 10. Best game. Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. Yeah, you just walked in the middle of us trying to garden, grow our own food. See, we figured out how to get past the snaggered fields. We need to run. But in order to run, we need to train, and in order to do that, we need food. But we already ate through all of our emergency food rations. It's so hot! And we sent Zach out about 3 days ago to go to the store, but he hasn't come back yet. Neither has Ruben and Alice. So, while we wait, and why don't we talk about a little game called Pikmin 3. About some tiny aliens that also are starving to death.
What's on the other side of the snaggered field anyways?
An ancient artifact of immense power. And you ruined my transition.
Yeah, but what is this artifact of ancient immeasurable power?
I don't want to tell you, because then it'll spoil the surprise!
Pikmin 3 is, in fact, the second game I played in the series, and you know what? I couldn't figure out how to get to the first boss fight. I just didn't break this wall, even though I already broke 2 walls before this. But, whatever, I was like 9, okay? Don't judge me. And that's where I got stuck until like 3 years later when I finally beat the game for the first time, which was awesome. And then I didn't replay it until Pikmin 3 Deluxe came out on the Switch. Despite going back and replaying Pikmin 1 on the GameCube religiously every year, I never wanted to go back to 3 for some reason until 3 Deluxe came out, and now I replay it at least like once a month. I am literally on the No Out of Bounds category extension speedrun leaderboards.
I'm just cooler than you.
And I will primarily be playing through the Switch version, considering the changes are very minor, and I don't like the controls in the Wii U version, like, at all. They just make me mad. And jumping into the game, we are shown an opening cutscene.
20XX. At the far reaches of space lies a planet on the brink of ruin. The planet's name? Kopai.
Maybe it's just my dumb kid brain, but I always associate this intro cutscene with the Halo Wars intro cutscene.
5 years. 5 long years. That's how long it took us to get Harvest back. Go, go, go!
But yeah, the plot of this game is literally, if you die, the entire population of Kopai is dead too, which I think is just natural selection at that point. I mean, the narrator literally says,
A booming population, booming appetites, and a basic lack of planning.
like, really guys? You didn't plan for the fact that people, like, have children and then those children need to, like, eat food, and now you need to go out and find fruit on other planets? Like, that's cool, but, like, after not finding any fruit in the universe, apparently, they stumble across PNF 404, otherwise known as the Pikmin planet, otherwise known as Earth, and they send out 3 whole people to go look for food. The engineer, Alf, the botanist, Brittany, and, of course, the mohawk-having, Pikmin-throwing, mustache-enjoying, green-suited gamer, Captain Charlie. Together, these 3 captains will journey across PNF 404 in search of food, and seeds in order to save their home planet. But as soon as they engage the landing sequence, something goes horribly wrong. After crashing, all of their food is destroyed, they lost their special key that they need to get home, and everyone got separated. The first character that we get to play as is Captain Charlie. Oh yeah, damn it! Next, we get control of Alf, and he gets to wander around, and we find the red Pikmin, and we get to see a lot of the new features added in this game, like Lock-On. Holy crap, Lock-On is so good. It makes attacking and sending Pikmin where you want them to go a total breeze, and couple that with the new charge ability, where you can just send all of your squad onto, like, something. It's just amazing. I love it, and it is the best feature in the game. Probably, maybe. The Pikmin can also now go back and forth from a destination. Like, look at how they're going back to grab more bridge pieces to build the bridge. I absolutely love it. I think it's great.
I wish you could go back and forth and build a bridge for me. What? You know what I mean, nerd.
But all of these additions, and more that I'll get to soon, make this game the most refined and best controlling game in the franchise thus far. It is so buttery smooth, and not even to mention the stellar, and I mean stellar visuals. This game looks so good, and I'm not really a graphics guy. Like, good graphics are cool and whatever, but I prefer if the game is fun. This game has both. The only thing I have against this game is that it is way too easy. At least compared to the other two. We went from the devastating to my patience Pikmin 2, and then we just transferred over to Baby's first Pikmin game. It's not a really big deal at the end of the day, but I think it is kind of a shame that it really lacks a lot of challenge for more veteran Pikmin players, like myself. But it does significantly lower the barrier to entry of the series, making it way better for newcomers, which I think is awesome. I really like this game, and part of that is definitely due to the addition of two new Pikmin types, Rock and Flying. Sadly, with their addition, the whites and purples do not appear in the main campaign. It is a real shame, but we do get to use them in challenge mode, which I will talk about here in a bit. Firstly, of the two new types, we have the Rock Pikmin, which are rocks. They have a hard outer body that can break crystals, and they are immune to being crushed. They're great. I love using them. Wallywogs no longer stand a chance. And then we have winged Pikmin, which are incredibly busted. They make this game so easy. Okay, like right here, right? I'm supposed to do a whole puzzle here with 3 captains, but like, what if I just said, you know, fly, and they go and grab it for me? Then they just float over all the level hazards. It's super overpowered. I love it. It's great. Winged Pikmin for the win. But the main thing you will be doing in this game, with your two new Pikmin types, is collecting fruits. There are a total of 66 fruits to collect, and then juice. Juicing the fruits lags the game, and I love that so much. The physics of this juice are just so amazing that the game literally lags. But here's the thing. They brought back the time system of the first game, like where you were to, when you had limited time before, limited amount of days before you die or whatever, right? And that's awesome. I like that. But they tied it to the juice, and juice is the bar, and if you run out of juice, the game's over and you have to restart and stuff. But here's the thing. You'll get so much juice that at the end of an average playthrough, like, you have at least like 80 days worth of juice. So you might as well just have infinite time. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I just think it is incredibly annoying that they kind of brought back the limited time thing that I liked so much about the first game, and then just made it pointless. But again, the juice lags the game, so that totally makes up for it. But other than the juice and the other stuff I've already mentioned, the other real big additions to this game are the 3 captains, the Go Here feature, and also the fused onion. The 3 captains is amazing. I'd have a similar problem to it as I did in 2, if not for the Go Here feature. I can pause the game and send someone over to a location on the map while I'm doing something else. I can even have all 3 captains going somewhere at once, and it's amazing. And with the 3 captain system, you also can now throw your captains to different ledges, which really adds to a new layer of level design, which I think is great.
Toss me. What? I cannot jump the distance, you'll have to toss me. Don't tell the elf. Not a word.
This is what I meant when I said in my Pikmin 2 video that the game's 2-player captain system is not the most refined. This is what I meant. This is the best part of the game, other than the fused onion. At the end of each day that you discover a new onion, they fuse together and get larger. Now all of your Pikmin are stored in the same onion, and now it is way faster than just going to each onion and pulling them out one at a time. I think the old way looks cooler, but the new way is just way better, way faster, and way more effective. It makes starting each day way simpler, and I love it. But along your journey with the Pikmin, to find the Cosmic Drive Key and collect fruits, you find these things called data files, and they strangely belong to a man by the name of Captain Olimar. Hell yeah, baby! My boy is back! And he has our Cosmic Drive Key? Alright, we know where to go now. We know who we're looking for. Woo! So now, our goal is clear. We have to find Captain Olimar. And hey, wait, who's that? It's Louie. And the Copites think he's Captain Olimar. I know there is an in-universe explanation, but if Planet 404 really is Earth, like, bro, you could've just watched my Pikmin 1 and 2 videos. Duh. But anyways, we should now probably discuss all of the areas. So up first, we have the Tropical Wilds, a naturalistic tropical getaway from all of your troubles. And then we have the Garden of Hope, my least favorite area in the game. It's an okay place on your first landing, but you basically see everything it has to offer by the end of the second day. But when you do come back later on, you do get more to explore, but it's still really not all that much compared to each other area. And the whole water section is just kind of boring, in my opinion, compared to all of the other areas in the game. But next is my favorite, the Distant Tundra, a snowy paradise with lots of fun areas to explore, and I love it. And then we have the Twilight River, which has a really unique level gimmick of riding lily pads around, and to my knowledge, has the only orange Bulborbs in the game. You know what I do to orange Bulborbs. And then, the most unique level in the game, the final challenge, the Formidable Oak. I like most of these areas, and the music in them, but I think they have to be my least favorite in the series. I just find them smaller than ever, with a lot of stuff really cramped together, and they're just really not all that fun to explore most of the time. There are a few exceptions, like in the Tropical Wilds, walking across this narrow path after you throw yourself up this tree trunk, and that's cool, but other than that, yeah, they're kind of boring. Not bad, just my least favorite. They're just not the best this series has to offer. But found in these areas are the game's bosses, and they're fun. Really easy though. I mean, you can kind of just charge 100 Pikmin at them and then they die. But after all of our journey, and saving Louie from the Quaggled Mireclops, we head off to the Formidable Oak to find Captain Olimar, who is then eaten by a blob monster, and that's cool. We save him, and then we need to carry him back to the Drake. And while doing that, the Pikmin, they just can't find their way. So instead, they follow Brittany, which is really cool. You now have to lead your Pikmin through a bunch of puzzles and enemies to just really test your skills. And the unique gimmick of the Pikmin following Brittany while holding Olimar is really cool. But soon you escape, and Olimar is eaten again. You then battle the only difficult boss in the game, the Plasm Wraith. But after throwing enough Pikmin at his goo, he dies. But not really. And we save Olimar. He gives us the Cosmic Drive Key, and we head on back to Copi victorious, and get one of 3 endings. The good ending, where we definitely saved Copi. The ending, where we may have saved Copi. And the bad ending, where we probably killed Copi. And that's about it for Pikmin 3 campaign-wise. Unless we're talking about Pikmin 3 Deluxe.
Hey, Chris, know what we should do? We should play Pikmin 3 Deluxe co-op campaign while we wait for our plants to grow.
I don't really wanna. I only really like competitive games. It's not very competitive.
We can play Bingo Battle after.
You son of a hawkitation, I'm in. But I want to play out here because otherwise their plants are gonna die.
Alright, I'll go get my Switch.
Co-op campaign is awesome, but it's not the best. The whole game wasn't really designed around it, so it feels a bit strange, but it is still amazing and I love it. But other than the co-op campaign, we actually have two other modes, Challenge Mode and Bingo Battle. Challenge Mode is now divided into 3 separate sections. Collect treasures, battle enemies, and defeat bosses. Collecting treasures has you playing through a bunch of new levels, using a set number of Pikmin types to collect as many treasures as you can before the time runs out. Then we have kill enemies, which is just kill all the enemies before the time runs out. And lastly, we have defeat bosses, which pits you against all of the game's bosses, and you kill them all with a unique squad before the time runs out. And these are really fun. I think co-op wise, because you can play all these in co-op by the way, they are way better than Pikmin 2's. But I think if I was just playing by myself, I'd rather play Pikmin 2's Challenge Mode. But they are both good, except in the Wii U version, where Pikmin 3's Challenge Mode levels were paid DLC that you can't buy anymore because the eShop has been closed. So thankfully, all of that content has been preserved in the base game of Pikmin 3 Deluxe. But the other mode is Bingo Battle, and it is my favorite part of Pikmin 3. You get like 12 stages to fight on, and instead of just getting 4 marbles or your opponent's marble, you now have to make a line of items or enemies on a bingo card, and it's awesome. I like this a whole lot more, because it adds an extra layer of strategy. You know, do you go for your own stuff, or maybe try to grab the thing that you know your opponent is trying to get? It's awesome, and I think the maps in this game are even better than Pikmin 2's. No one really wants to play Bingo Battle with me though, because I'm just too good at the game.
Screw you, Barty. You're too good at this game.
You're just bad.
The sun was in my face the entire time.
Pikmin 3 Deluxe also adds a new side mode, which is basically just more mission mode stages, but they also help fill in the gap in Pikmin 3's story. Olimar's Assignment, a short 4-level adventure chronicling the journey of Olimar and Louie before they're both captured by monsters, and Olimar's Comeback, a story about Olimar fixing his ship after the president sent him back to the planet after being stuck there again. And these are fun, and playable in co-op as well. There's even collecting ship parts, kinda like in the first game, and I really like that. Also in 3 Deluxe is the returning Piclopedia, a very strange omission from the Wii U version in I don't know why they would take it out. It's one of the best parts of Pikmin 2, and it's even better in 3 Deluxe, because now we have 5 captains giving their opinions on things, and it's awesome. Olimar, Louie, Alf, Brittany, and Charlie, each with their own unique descriptions of monsters and fruit, and I think it's awesome. It's a really, really good addition to this game. That should have been in the original Wii U version. Pikmin 3 is a fantastic game, and I love it. I think I have quite a few problems with the game, but, you know, mostly with the level design department, but do not let that take away from how much I absolutely love this game and all of the others in the series. If asked to rank any of them, I don't know what order they would be in, because it usually changes on a day-to-day basis. If I wake up one day, I might prefer Pikmin 3 to 2, or 2 to 3, or 1 to all of them. Who knows? And I love this game. I may not have liked it as much when I was a kid as the first one, or even the second one, but I think it still holds a very special place in my heart, as with all of the games in this series. Pikmin is one of the greatest franchises Nintendo or any game studio has ever produced, and I am so excited to finally see the 4th game come out. And with that, we're done. Except for flying on the map screen. Flying on the map screen is no longer fun. They ruined it. 0 to 10 game. Worst game ever. Nintendo. Fix it in the Pikmin 4. Pikmin 4 but ever been a map screen.
God damn it, Brady. All the planets plants died when we were playing your stupid game.
You want to just go back inside?
Yeah, sucks out here.
Okay. Man, it is cooler in here. It really is. It is really nice compared to out there.
Oh, hey, Ruben!
Ruben! What are you saying? You, Zach, and Alice were kidnapped by some organization and you're the only one who managed to escape? They need our help. Like now? Alright. Let's go save our friend! Okay! Chris, you see him yet?
No, there's a wall there.
Then we need to go in for a closer look.
Barty, what if they see you? We haven't trained yet.
Well, you heard him. Let's move. Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. Yeah, me and Chris here are just going to go save Zach, but I really want to play Pikmin. I wish there was a way I could take Pikmin with me on the go. Oh, wait! And when I talk about Pikmin on the go, I'm not counting the Switch ports of 1, 2, or 3, because those can all still be played on the TV. When I say Pikmin on the go, I mean Pikmin on the go. Starting, of course, with Hey Pikmin. Hey Pikmin was the first spin-off of the Pikmin series. And it's a 2D platformer on the 3DS. A console that has a lot of 2D platformers on it. So, forgive me, I don't have any way to capture 3DS footage, so all of the footage you'll see of Hey Pikmin is going to be emulated. That's why you're going to see my mouse cursor. I'm sorry. I do have the game digitally on one of my 5 3DSs, but I don't have a way to capture 3DS footage right now. I also didn't have time to play through the entire game this week, so I just downloaded a 100% complete save file off the internet. I have beaten the game before, but I just downloaded the save file off the internet because I didn't feel like doing it again. I didn't have the time. So yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, on to the rest of the review, though. In Hey Pikmin, we get control over the returning Captain Olimar, as he's flying through space in his ship, the SS Dolphin II, when it, of course, crashes on an unknown world, strangely inhabited by Pikmin. He then finds out that his ship was damaged and all of his fuel is gone, so he now needs to collect 30,000 of a substance called sparklium in order to escape. So he sets out with the help of the Pikmin to find a whole lot of sparklium. And that's basically the entire plot of the game. I mean, there is this whole thing about trying to find your sparklium converter thingy. It's a ship piece that you need to plug into the thing, but other than that, you just kind of go around collecting sparklium. It's the setup for a Pikmin game, and it totally works, but I think it would have been cooler to get a more outlandish story compared to the console games. We got something like that with Triforce Heroes and all that stuff, and I think that was really fun because it's just super wild. I was really hoping for something a bit more wacky with this game, but in the end, it's not a big deal. The plot is totally serviceable, and it is the setup to a... But in the actual game of Hey Pikmin, you walk left or right and throw Pikmin. Roll credits. I kid. But that's honestly really all there is to it, to be honest. There are some minor puzzle elements to the game, but there's nothing major. They definitely keep the game feeling like Pikmin, though. Speaking of which, throwing the Pikmin in the game is my favorite thing about it. Just smashing your 3DS touchscreen with the stylus to toss Pikmin at an enemy or a boss. It's fun! and without a doubt the best part of the game. It might be my favorite feeling throwing Pikmin in the whole series. The tapping and oh, it's just fun. But there's also collecting treasures, like in Pikmin 2. But instead of being worth Pokos, they're worth Sparklium, and it's great. They're really cool. Also in Hey Pikmin is a Piclopedia type thing, where you get to look at the enemies and treasures, and it's great. And it wasn't in Pikmin 3 on Wii U, but it was in the 3DS Pikmin game, so I think we all know which game is better. Pikmin 3, what are you, stupid? Did you really think I liked Hey Pikmin more? What's wrong with you? Anyways, that's really all there is for Hey Pikmin. It's a fine 2D platformer with the Pikmin. And if you're a Pikmin fan, I would totally recommend this game. It is, in my opinion, probably the worst game in this franchise so far, but it is not bad. It's pretty good for a portable spin-off of an RTS puzzle game that keeps a lot of the charm of the original series intact.
Let's go.
Alright, you first. Any bad guys?
No. There's Alice. Oh, thank God. You're safe.
Where's Zach?
Really? Damn it. Alice says that they took him. Oh, that's a headache and a half.
Y'all better get out of here before my guards come back.
Who are you? And what did you do with Zach?
I'm the leader of the Whole Earth Organization of Puppet Gamers attempting electrical insurance zigzags and total invasion of nations. Wouldn't you like to know? Now leave the bits.
Oh. What? What are you saying? Chris, if what Alice says is true, they're after the same thing we are, the ancient artifact of immeasurable power. In order to get it and maybe even save Zach along the way, I think it's time we go and train. Look, we even have our food. You ready? Let's go. Man, I am out of shape.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Ghost Brigade Squad. In this week's episode we see these two young men filming a YouTube video in a basement when suddenly a strange orb appears on camera. Wait, let's play that back. Did you see it? Pay attention to where the arrow is. Look there, you can see what looks like is an orbital apparition fly on screen and then zoom off, as if it was possessing something. Ghost confirmed.
How is this trending? I haven't even released the video yet.
Barty, our friend's in trouble. You need to tell us, what is this ancient artifact of supreme power?
Well, I guess it's probably about time. We are looking for the limited edition SpongeBob Game Boy Advanced SP. You see, long ago, it was forged by the god who created this world, and it is imbued with their power. And it is said whoever finds it and wields its power may grant any wish.
Man, that sounds fake.
Yeah, I know. But have you noticed that since I started looking for it, weird things have started happening? I mean, Zach was kidnapped. We're friends with sentient Pikmin who just showed up in between my game reviews, and we act like they've been our friends our entire lives. Or the fact that we need food to train. What arbitrary goal is that? We have enough energy to run around and fight things, and we can't go, like, walk and run without eating? That makes no sense. Do you even feel hungry?
No.
You see? None of this makes sense. But there is something that I know does. We need to go train so we can get that Game Boy, and we also need to save Zach. But first, I want to talk about Pikmin Bloom, baby!
Pikmin Bloom is a mobile walking game, kind of like Pokemon Go, but also nothing like Pokemon Go. It's less of a game and more like a step counter, but I love Pikmin Bloom. It is genuinely really fun and charming. It is just great to hop on for like 10-15 minutes a day and mess around with my Pikmin. The gameplay loop is just feed your Pikmin nectar, go on walks and plant flowers, send them out to get you more seedlings or fruits, or just attack mushrooms. And if you make your Pikmin like you enough by doing those things, they will inevitably go out and put on these little costumes that are just amazing. Like, look at this guy. Look at him. He's a burger. And you can even name them. So I called him Heinz. Pikmin Bloom, for a mobile port spin-off game, is really fun. And if you have not played it and you're a Pikmin fan, I totally recommend it. It has, without a doubt, some of the most charming Pikmin interactions in the entire series, and I really hope we see elements transferred over into the main series at some point. It's free, and any pay-to-win elements are very, very, very minor. It's great. Play Pikmin Bloom if you haven't. Do it. Play it. Do it. Do it. Play it. Do it. Play it.
Alright, Chris. Take Alice. Let's get training.
Push me to victory. Let's see what we can do together, me and you. Can't be afraid to try. Kiss your fears goodbye. No looking back. You and I were on the attack. Full speed ahead, running to the sunset. Such a different feeling. Both of us believing we can make it better. Together we can show the world what we can do. You are next to me and I'm next to you. Pushing on through until the battle's won. No one's gonna give nothing to us. Into each other we put our trust. Standing united after the fight. All alone we will never be. The two of us are holding the key. We see today a world we couldn't see. Before I say goodbye to you, one more last fist bump.
10 years. A decade. 1/10 of a century. That's how long we've all waited for the day of July 21st, 2023. The release date of Pikmin 4. Over the last month, I took time to play through almost everything this series has to offer. And now, at long last, we've made it. The release of Pikmin 4. And I have to say, this video contains heavy spoilers for the entire game. Like, I'm trying to cover all the bases I want to here, and I will not have another warning. Go play this game right now. Go walk up to Mr. Shigeru Miyamoto himself, slam money on the table, and say,
I'll take 6.
then play it, then beat it, then come back. I cannot stress enough how much you should go and play this game. And if you're some kind of loser and just want to watch the video, I'm looking at you, Kinway Motions, then I guess you can, but you will be missing out on one of the greatest gaming experiences of all time.
That's right, it's out. Pikmin 4. And today's the day we make it through the Snaggart Fields. And retrieve the SpongeBob Game Boy Advance SP. Or at least that's what I heard. Alright then, you ready, Chris?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. Oh no. Humiliating. What is it? You're around here somewhere.
Where is here?
I have no idea. Who are you guys? Ah!
Here we are. Pikmin 4. Sitting here listening to the title screen, it's still hard to believe that we're finally here. I love Pikmin, like, a lot. And after so long, I kind of want to savor this experience for as long as I can. But, alas, all things must come and go. And so shall Pikmin 4. Hopping straight into the game, we get this really cool paper cutscene chronicling the story of Captain Olimar after his ship crash lands on this strange alien planet, and then we get to play as him for a little bit, and we get to learn a couple of the game's new mechanics, like the dogs. Trust me, we will talk about the dogs later. But this is really cool. It's a really interesting way to start this game. And after retrieving the interstellar radio, I love that, Olimar sends out a distress signal to the Rescue Corps. We then get to see the little cutscene of the Rescue Corps coming to save him. And of course they crash. But then they send in their newest recruit. Hey, look, it's me! That's right, this game has a character creator, and it's really cool. There are a pretty limited amount of options, all things considered, but it is still really neat to be able to put me in the little tiny space alien game. After we create our character, we then land on PNF 404, and we find Ochi. After walking around a little bit, we find some of our crewmates, and of course our captain. We then head on over to the SS Shepherd, where we find some special treasures, and of course, the Red Onion, as is tradition. We find it, then we go to sleep, wake up the next morning, and we're off on another interstellar Pikmin adventure. This time we're out to collect treasures, rescue Captain Olimar, and save our crew. Oh, and also any other castaways that just so happen to be on this planet at the same time we are. Most of the castaways and treasures are actually found in the returning caves. Yeah, that's right, the caves are back. And in my Pikmin 2 video, I said that I thought the caves were pretty and honestly not much has changed here. The caves in this game are way easier than the caves in Pikmin 2. They're also like a lot shorter, and each one doesn't end with a boss fight anymore, only some of them do. And that kinda sucks. Despite how annoying some of the boss fights could be in that game, I honestly think it might have been my favorite part. Just seeing all these really interesting creature designs, you know, like the man-at legs, the pileated snagrit, that kind of stuff, was really great. You know, getting to the end of each cave, wondering, I wonder what's down there. What am I gonna find? It was one of my favorite parts, and it's kind of sucks that it's not here all the time. But at the end of the day, it's not that big a deal. Instead of getting really cool fights at the end of each cave, now we get more puzzles. Not too many more, but there's a lot of new puzzles involving you and Ochi being split up and having to navigate using the dog. I think these more puzzly floors and caves really break up what was kind of monotonous in Pikmin 2, where you just go down, fight more guys, find treasures, go down, fight more guys, find treasures. Now you have more variety of challenges in these caves, and I think that part is really good. And I think these puzzle elements are especially important because the caves were pretty challenges, to be honest. Compared to making me want to rip my own hair out, like in Pikmin 2, these ones were pretty peaceful, all things considered. Don't know whether or not that's a good thing or a bad thing. You decide. I just know I don't want to die right now, so that's good. But the new cave style is not the only new thing we have in this game. Of course, we have new areas, new gimmicks, you know, that kind of stuff. But the first thing that I want to talk about is, of course, the two new Pikmin types, Ice and Glow. It was at this point in editing the video that my computer broke. So if you see a noticeable downturn in the editing, just know it's because my sanity disappeared because I've been working on this project way longer than I wanted to. You see this Ice Pikmin right here? His name is Caesar. I just wanted to let you know. He's very important to me. Ice Pikmin are only found in caves for like the first half of the game, and not being super rare, I had over 100 before I even found the Ice Onion. But this type has the ability to freeze enemies in place for a short period of time after being eaten or by hitting them enough, and it's awesome. The enemies they killed while frozen won't leave corpses behind, but they do drop nectar, which I think is a fine replacement. Ice Pikmin are really useful in combat, but something big this game introduced is that enemies on the surface no longer respawn after leaving an area for a couple days, like in every other game in the series. Once you've killed everything on the surface, they're dead for good, and that means that freezing enemies and them shattering means that they are gone for good, and you can't use them to make more Pikmin. And I think that's really interesting. It makes overusing the Ice Pikmin's freeze have some sort of consequences. If you overuse Ice Pikmin and freeze all the enemies in an area, and they all shatter, if some unforeseen tragedy happens, you may not be able to regrow your army quickly, and might have to spend days just harvesting and reharvesting the same like 20 pellet posies scattered around each area. And I think it's a really smart design choice, making Ice Pikmin really overpowered, but something you might not want to abuse because you might not have enough guys later on to do certain things. And that's really smart. I really like that. Ice Pikmin also have the ability to freeze water and mud, making it so that your other Pikmin can cross over these liquid-based obstacles. But having them frozen means that you cannot use those Pikmin because they're, in the water, freezing it. So you now have a deficit of Pikmin to deal with whatever obstacles that you need to deal with on the other side of the water, which I think is also really great. It adds a lot of intensity to this, to these situations where now you used to have 100 Pikmin to solve the thing, now maybe you only have 50, which is a lot less, making challenges a bit harder, and I think that's also a really good design. But yeah, Ice Pikmin, cool, I like them, great addition to the series. But moving on from that, however, we have the other newcomer, the Glow Pikmin. So Glow Pikmin are basically exclusive to the new Night Expeditions mode, which I'll touch on here because they go hand in hand with the Glow Pikmin. On the Night Expedition, you and Ochi are tasked with defending these luminoles from oncoming enemies in order to procure something called Glow Sap, to cure these dudes called Leaflings, which are these little plant guys that get plantified by going in an onion. I don't know, that's just what happens. Anyways, In order to defend the Luminals from a lot of oncoming enemies, you'll need the help of the Glow Pikmin. These guys are basically invulnerable to everything but being eaten. And they have this ability called Glow Mob, which has them group up and shoot out a big blast that stuns nearby enemies, and then they break apart again and attack the stunned guys. It's, like, really awesome and fun to use. Unfortunately, you can't take Glow Pikmin with you outside of night expeditions, so you need to make your own every night by collecting Starbits. I don't remember what they're called, but they look like Starbits, so I'm calling them Starbits. But yeah, I really like night modes. They're really, really fun. And they're a really nice change of pace after you've played a good chunk of the game. To just go off and do some new night expeditions, it's really cool. And I enjoyed doing these a lot. As well as utilizing the Glow Pikmin and all of their abilities. After the end of each night, you actually get some Glow Seeds, which you can then use to plant Glow Pikmin either at night or in caves, but you can't take them with you outside of the caves, so I don't know, there's no real point. There's not ever really a time that I would say want to use them in caves, unless I wanted to, like, convert them into a different type using a Candy Pop Bud, but hey, it's nice to have the option. So, on your quest, you'll encounter this big bulbous nose guy. I wonder who it could be! Oh, I know. It's Mayor McCheese, but with a leaf. And this Mayor McCheese with a leaf here, he challenges us to a Dandori battle. And for the sake of this castaway, we must fight. Dandori is the sacred art of organizing your options and skills in order to finish a task efficiently and effectively. And this battle is basically like every other battle mode in Pikmin, but instead you have to collect a whole lot of stuff to get points. And this is probably my favorite battle mode in the series so far. Okay, so the start is like pretty simple. You kill things and collect treasures and bring them back for points and stuff like that. And then it becomes all about taking advantage of these double point bonus windows, where enemies and objects get a small chance to be worth more points. Then we get the Gold Sniffer, a really heavy treasure worth a ton of points. Then we also get the Mystery Capsules, which are just the Cupid's grenades from the other games. And of course, the Sneak Bomb. A bomb that when you carry it over to the opposing team's onion, explodes, sending out a bunch of their points in the form of Dandorium, and you can now steal their points. And it's really cool. I like this a lot. It's a lot of fun. You do have to do these for the campaign, but there is also a 2-player battle mode, which is also fun. There is only 6 maps, which is a crying shame. And most of these are really small, especially compared to the colossal ones we got in Pikmin 3. It's not the end of the world, but I would have to say I would have liked to see more maps and other stuff than just the ones we got in story mode. But honestly, I still think this is the most fun a Pikmin battle mode has been.
Who the hell are you?
I'm the guardian of the map.
Map? So you're saying that the limited edition SpongeBob Game Boy Advance SP isn't here?
Yep. You're not the only one to be disappointed by that.
Jack! How long have you been here?
Oh, dude, I've been here like 4 days.
Oh, thank the limited edition SpongeBob Game Boy Advance SP that you're alright.
Yeah, so basically I was kidnapped by this organization guy, and then like, poof, in a flash of bright light, I was here talking to this guy trying to get him to hand over a map, so, you know.
I'm bound by God to only hand over the map to the one named Barty.
I'm Barty. Now give me the map.
Really the one called Barty, you'll be able to complete my trials.
Wait, there's a trial? God damn it.
You'll have to lead your friends through a tough challenge called Dandori.
Oh shit, really? That's all? I already 100% Pikmin 4, man. I'm the Dandori master. Dandori challenges are basically the challenge modes from, all of the other games,
but they're actually required to beat the campaign, much like the battle mode. And these are really fun. You get a limited number of Pikmin and Pikmin types and have to masterfully execute these big puzzle areas with the help of the Pikmin and Ochi, and I love them. They may be my favorite in the series thus far. They are really fun, and learning to use Ochi's abilities well is super useful. And I love that each time you enter the leaflings waiting outside, mention, of course, Dandori. Dandori, 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 Dandori. Everybody's all about Dandori all the time. Today I Dandori. Tomorrow I Dandori more.
Your challenge is bring those logs over there to over there in 5 seconds.
That's easy. Done. Map now.
But the leafling encounters aren't the only Dandori we get in Pikmin 4. We also have the Trial of the Sage Leaf, a 10-4 gauntlet of tough time-based challenges that once completed get you the purple and white onions. That's right, you heard me. Onions. But that's the next thing I'm going to talk about. This is the Trial of the Sage Leaf, and it is really difficult. It's not too bad if you're just going for bronzes or whatever and trying to beat every floor, but I'm an idiot, and I decided I'm going to get the highest level possible on each floor, and oh my god, it took me like 3 hours, and this one floor with the little shear fleece and the little wormy guys that come out of the ladies, the Empress Bulblex's butt, they were so annoying because you get 5 purple Pikmin, but the auto lock them in, so I couldn't just throw them wherever I want, and then they'd latch onto Ochi and kick me off Ochi, or stop Ochi from moving, or stop me from moving, so my purples would die, and it sucked, and I hate it, and I went like insane doing it, but I did it. There's no reward for doing all of the platinums, so I wouldn't recommend doing it yourself. But I did it! Yay! Woo! Alright, so remember like 5 seconds ago when I mentioned the purple and white onions? Get you the purple and white onions. That's right, you heard me. Onions. But it was at this point in the video where I had a critical crash and no backup was made. I was 41 minutes in. I was like 5 minutes away from finishing this video, and everything got reset to this point. I lost about 6 hours worth of work and effort due to this goddamn thing, and I am unbelievably pissed off about it. If you see the editing go even more downhill like I don't care, that is why. I have been working on this video for half a month now almost, and I'm just done. I'm done. Like, I was finally about to be done. I was gonna have a break and stuff. Now I don't think I'm gonna get the break that I wanted after this, because I have to start working on another video because more things didn't work out, and I'm just tired. That's all. Well, yeah, so they brought back almost all of the previous Pikmin types. Except for the Bulbmin. You'll be missed, my leaf-headed friends. And also the Puffmin as well, which is really lame. They brought back the Puffstool boss, but all he does now is like make them jump around him, and they don't convert into Puffmin anymore, and that really sucks. But yeah, they brought back almost every other previous Pikmin types, and gave them all onions this time. Which, if you recall, the purple and whites lacked in Pikmin 2. And all this is part of a new onion system. You see, the onions in this game can't send out 100 Pikmin at a time. They actually need to be upgraded. You start off with the ability to take out 20, and then slowly upgrade your way back up to 100 by collecting these things called Farlicks. There are a couple Farlicks in each area, and there's actually more than enough to get 100 Pikmin. There are 12 in the game, and you only need 8 to fully upgrade the onion. What do the other 4 do, you may ask? Well, we'll save that for a later part of the video near the end, because it's part of a big thing that I kind of want to talk about to wrap up the video. But yes, that means much like in Pikmin 3, we also have the fused onion, which is back, and I think it's great. You find the onions now out in the wild and have to bring them back into your normal onion where it'll absorb, and now you can grow that new type of Pikmin. You can find these other types in caves just kind of chilling and stuff first. If you go in every cave, you are in complete everything before doing the main objective. You are guaranteed to have every single type of Pikmin before you find even the 4th onion if you played the game in the same order that I did, which is kind of cool. It means that, well, in a limited supply early on, meaning you can't abuse different types like purples or whites, because if something happens and they die, you can't grow more for a while yet. And I think that's a really smart choice. But you do also eventually find onions for all of the types except glow, and it's super satisfying seeing your onion full of color. It's great. And with all previous Pikmin types returning, I can reuse my bit. Okay, so this project is cursed. 10 hours worth of my footage got corrupted, so I have basically 0 footage of 3 whole areas in the normal mode. I only have the first one and the last 2. So, for anything that is related to the middle 3 areas, it will be in Olimar's Shipwreck Tale, because that's what I have. I'm not replaying through the whole game again, just to gather that footage. I can't. This video's taking me too long as is. So, live with it, and just imagine that I'm showing footage of what I'm talking about when I'm not, because I don't have it. Well, after continuing your way through the story mode, saving people, and doing some night expeditions, you eventually unlock the 4th area, the Hero's Hideaway, which is inside a house. Holy shit, this is cool! But, it is here that you of course find 2 big boy things. The Ice Onion, and of course, that Mr. Mayor McCheese with a leaf wasn't Mayor McCheese after all, but actually Olimar the whole time. How did I not see this coming? But we beat him at Dandori and his dog Moss runs off, and then we take him back, turn him back to normal, and then we leave the planet as the credits roll. But something's wrong with Ochi. His tail's become a leaf. Oh no, he can't leave. Now, we must head back and save our boy. And wait, watching the credits. Who's that? It's Moss. Oh no. Oh no, he's back! And after the credits roll, this is when the game really starts to get good in my opinion. After returning to the planet, you can now explore 2 new areas, making the total in this game 6, which is the largest of any Pikmin game. Now is the actual time to talk about the areas. So, before we get to the real areas, I should definitely mention the Rescue Command Post. This area mostly serves as a sort of hub, where you can interact with stuff, get side quests from people, and buy upgrades and things. You know, train Ochi, that kind of stuff. It's really cool, and I actually really like this idea a lot. Despite being so cramped, there are a lot of people you can talk to and a lot of things you can interact with, meaning that you can, you know, look at the Piccolopedia or the treasures, or talk to the cave guy and do side quests, get side quests, complete side quests, upgrade your stuff. There's like a lot of stuff to do, and I think the Rescue Command Post is a great addition to this game. It adds a whole lot of charm with all of these interesting people you can interact with and talk to, and all the different quests and things that they give you. I think it's a great new addition to the Pikmin series. I might still consider the quiet loneliness of the other games to be a bit better, but I have to say it's a pretty nice change of pace after going through all of those games. Firstly, we've got the Sun-Speckled Terrace, a large backyard area filled to the brim with enemies, puzzles, and caves, with this big large bench and... For some reason, trying to say bench came out as bents. I don't know why, but I meant to say bench. Blue fence overlooking everything. I think it genuinely looks stunning. Next is the Blossoming Arcadia. I kinda melded this one together in my head with the Sun-Speckled Terrace. It's probably the most forgettable in the game, but it's got these neat water sections and this bridge and stuff. Oh, and of course the big slide that I'm sad we didn't get to slide down. But this is probably the worst area in the game. It's not bad, it's just kinda forgettable. After that, we have the Serene Shores. This area is really cool. It's basically just a big sandbox filled with water. And as the day goes by, the water eventually goes down, allowing you to travel this area with non-blue or winged Pikmin. And it's great. You can take out some of the water-based enemies with other types, making it easier to go through. And there's a lot of really fun treasures and interesting fights to have here with just blue Pikmin, or maybe trying to use yellows or whatever. This area is great, one of my favorites in the game. But I mean, it's not my favorite, which is the one that we're going to talk about now. Of course, it's the Hero's Hideaway. You know, it's a big house with a kitchen and a living room to explore. And it's really cool. It's covered from head to toe with enemies and puzzles, high up places you need to reach. Not to mention, it is really cool to just explore a real-life house from this scale. The enemy placement's really good, the amount of variety of obstacles is great, this area is so interesting. And you're in a house! There's like suitcases, and couches, and like folders. It's cool, I don't know, it's cool! After that, we got the Giant's Hearth. A big open area fire pit with like a grill thing. And honestly, that's about all I remember. I just replayed the game. I'm replaying the game as I'm speaking. I kind of just, it's just water, like little water spouts and some big wollywogs, and you need to use fire starters. But that's about it. This area is also kind of forgettable. I don't really remember the layout, but the big furnace part's really cool. I like that a lot. And last, but certainly not least, we have the Primordial Thicket. A dense area of autumn forest filled with giant trees and enemies and mud, a lot of mud. But I like the mud. It's like water, but the deep mud no Pikmin can cross, so you need to like freeze it with ice Pikmin, which lowers your squad for whatever you need to do across the mud, and it's awesome. And I haven't even mentioned the just great like the theme of this area. Like the music is probably my favorite. And this whole area in general is genuinely like the second best in the game and one of the best in the entire series. I put it up there with like the final area of Pikmin 2. Whatever that was called. I can't believe I'm blanking. Put it on the screen right now, me. That one. That one. But unlike how I felt about all of Pikmin 3's areas, these are densely packed with things to do. And they're also really fun to explore. Maybe it's because I just haven't gotten sick of them yet, but I don't know. These are some of the best in the series. They're probably not my favorite. I still think Pikmin 2 has my favorite levels, but these are without a doubt fantastic. Alright, so I only got one last big introduction to this game that I need to talk about. The fact that Purple Pikmin's slam attack is actually like a gravity wave, and that's why I can ground the Water Wraith in our dimension. Yeah, they're so fat that they have their own, they can create gravity waves.
Like your mom! Got him!
Okay, for realsies this time. Ochi the Space Dog. I have neglected to mention Ochi thus far, because I just have so much to say about him. He is without a doubt the best addition to Pikmin 4. Ochi is your reliable space pup, along for this ride with you, and mastering his abilities are so much fun. Throughout the game, you get these things called raw materials, which can be used to upgrade yourself and Ochi, now with like new equipment and stuff. You know, like elemental resistances, more health and stuff. But you also get these things called Pup Drive from saving castaways, and we can use these to upgrade Ochi's abilities, like making him swim faster, or the ability to pluck Pikmin, or carry more things, and even swallow things after you save Olimar. It is super cool. You can also ride Ochi, allowing you to swim through water with non-blues on its back. It also makes it so that your Pikmin don't spread out behind you, and it's awesome. He is essential and can act as a second captain, as you need to control him by, himself sometimes, and it's super sweet. He also has the ability to sniffer things, which I never really did because exploring was more fun, but I love using Ochi. And I don't really care about like cute animals or whatever, but Ochi is so fun to use and take along with you on this adventure. He is such a great addition to this awesome franchise. I wish my dog could carry Pikmin.
Come on, dog. Why can't you hold Pikmin, Loki? Come on, Loki. Why can't you hold Pikmin, Loki?
Without a doubt, one of the other highlights of this game is Olimar's Shipwreck Tale, a playable short story mode where you play as Olimar, journeying around PNF 404 before the events of the game. It acts like a small retelling of Pikmin 1, where you need to collect ship parts within 15 days in order to escape. And it's really great and really fun. There is only one small part in this short side mode that I think is kind of lame. In the tutorial, where you play as Olimar, all your Pikmin run off, and then you need to go get them. And you're like, what happened? What's all that about? Then in the story mode, when you go to the house, it doesn't happen. You know why? It's because Olimar found the cause in Shipwreck Tale and dealt with it himself. So that was kind of lame. They build up this kind of suspense and then totally break it in the side mode, which, I don't know, I'm not a big fan of. But other than that, yeah, I really, really loved this. It was really fun to explore these areas all over again, but with new gimmicks and level designs, I live for stuff like that. Well, after playing through the entire game and you Dandori Louie a couple times, you save this Kopite named Nelly, who is needed to save Ochi and bring him back to a non-leafified state. It turns out you need non-leafified space dog cells. Lucky for you, Louie, who ran off again, actually tamed a non-leafified space dog. But he's now living at the bottom of the giant hole. So you go in and fight through a bunch of tough enemies and returning bosses.
So I wasn't going to make another one of these for a while in the video, but after looking through my footage again, I just remembered the Smoky Frog has a butthole mouth now. They took the coolest enemy in Pikmin 1 and you give it a butthole mouth. It like stretches and stuff. It's weird! I don't know, it's weird!
The hardest of which probably being the returning third fight of the frickin' Empress Bulblax. It's just as hard as in Pikmin 2, I don't like it.
Alright, Caesar, we got this.
But at the final floor of this cave, you find Louie, riding atop the ancient Sire Hound. This fight is genuinely pretty tough. If you don't have yellows, but also just in general, it's probably the hardest fight in the game. Unless you bring a bunch of glow Pikmin, which are resistant to almost everything, so you'll just be fine if you do that, but I didn't. This fight is 5 phases long, and it is probably the hardest boss fight in the series. I think it might have my least favorite design of all the final bosses, but it is without a doubt the most difficult. But hey, maybe it's just because I've fought all the other ones like 60 times, so I just kind of know all their attack patterns. But yeah, the final fight is pretty cool, the music is pretty bumpin', but yeah, I'm not a big fan of the design. But soon after, you take down the ancient sire hound, retrieve Louie and its collar, and then you bring them both back to the campsite. You make a cure for Ochi with the fur on the big collar, and Olimar says goodbye to Moss, and you take off into space once again, ending Pikmin 4. Unless you're me, because I wanted to go for 100% completion. As it turns out, Louie has another side quest for you, requiring you to go just to all of the other areas and kill things in different caves in order to harvest their bones so he can eat them. I did it after I beat the game. It extended my playtime by like 6 days, but I did it! I 100%ed this game! And it was a blast. This is genuinely one of the greatest games I've ever played. But with that being said, it is not flawless. I do have some problems with some aspects of the game. It's nothing too bad, but they are there. And I think it would be unfair to only praise the game and not discuss some of its flaws. So the next section is going to come off probably kind of negative, but regardless of what I say, don't come away from that thinking I hated this game. I genuinely loved it. Okay, firstly, let's talk about the onions. So I really like the onion system in concept, but there are 3 massive flaws in my opinion in this system. Firstly, you cannot take more than 3 types of Pikmin out of the onion at a time. Only 3. I get why that they don't want to overwhelm the player or have them run into an obstacle that they don't have enough of a specific Pikmin type to, solve. But almost all of the level design is built around only having like 3 types at a time, which is kind of lame, by the way. In other previous games, you needed to have each type of Pikmin to solve all of the problems in each area efficiently and effectively, You needed blue Pikmin and yellow Pikmin in the Forest of Hope. You needed blue Pikmin in the Valley of Repose, yellow Pikmin in Garden of Hope and stuff like that, In this one, you can 100% each area your first time there because the game gives you all the types you need in order to 100% these areas right away, which I think is a flaw with the level design, because now these levels are inherently less challenging because they have a limited amount of options for level hazards in each area. It might either be a byproduct of them only being able to use 3 Pikmin at a time, I'm not sure, but I think it is really lame. All of the other games in this series gave us the ability to use 5 at a time, other than Pikmin 1. And the levels were built around that system, so when you say, we're bringing back all the Pikmin, I expect each level to require me to use all of the Pikmin and different combinations of them in order to solve puzzles, like in all of the previous games. But no, you don't really get that here, and I think that is a huge loss for the Pikmin series. And in the last cave, I was able to use 7 Pikmin types without the game exploding, and it was really cool. I tried to get all 9. I got to the final floor and was like, there's 2 candy pop buds there. I should leave, go grab the other 2 types that don't have buds in this area and, come back and, do that. But the game intentionally changed the colors, meaning they knew that people were going to try to get all 9 types, and they didn't want you bringing them into the final encounter. And that really blows. Here's my actual reaction to when that happened, when I went through the whole cave again, just to try that. Oh, that's sad. They figured out what I was gonna do. Alright. I guess it's time we end this then. Go, Ochi. That's pretty upsetting, actually. Like, I'm legitimately sad right now about that. I would be lying if I said I wasn't really looking forward to using at least 8 types at a time in this game. Bringing out a whole squad of everything and just messing around and seeing all the colors together. was one of the things I was most excited for when this game was revealed, to have all types returning. And it is such a shame that we didn't get that, and it genuinely makes me really sad, because that was some of my favorite parts about other games. I mean, there's that one level in Pikmin 3's challenge mode where you get to use all 7 types, and that was like the best one. It's like Christmassy and stuff. That was the best level, okay? And we didn't even get that here. It's a big bummer. Especially because they designed a fix for this in their game, and they didn't use it. Remember when I mentioned that you only need 8 Farlick bulbs, and there's 12 total? Well, I was like, I bet if I collect more Farlick bulbs, I can take out more Pikmin types. Well, guess what? That's not what happens. If you collect a Farlick bulb after having 100 Pikmin already, you know what happens? You get nectar. Something that is so common to come by using ice Pikmin, and just in general, a lot of places and eggs and everything just give you so much nectar. Both ultra spicy and normal. You just get nectar. Making collecting these pretty useless after you collect 8. Like, there's no real point to collecting any more Farlick bulbs other than to collect all the Farlick bulbs. There's no reward or anything past 8, which is really dumb, you know? I was at least hoping for 10 of each Pikmin type or something, at least. Because when you collect the extra yellow and blue onions in this game, they just give you 20 of that color. But nope, you just get nectar. You just get nectar. I also have another problem on the rate you unlock certain upgrades. You get the last upgrades for your character after basically doing everything. Ochi's final upgrade is only able to be unlocked after you save literally everybody, which is basically just doing the entire game. And the upgrade's really fun. It just gives you an infinite sprint ability, and it's really cool. It's the same thing with the lineup trumpet, which just gives you like a swarm ability from the first game. Too bad by the time you get it, you've probably already killed everything in every area, so there's nothing to go fight with or nothing to try it on. Or the extra hand, which just lets you carry one thing back to the ship or the onion. It's really neat. I wish I had like an opportunity to, you know, use this in the game. But alas, we don't. And it's just kind of lame. I don't dislike the game because of these. Honestly, the game is still really fun at its core. But these are a few of the major flaws I've had. Please, let me know how you feel about this in the comments. I am genuinely curious to see if anybody agrees or disagrees with me. I'm just curious. So please, if you watch this and you have any thoughts about the stuff I just talked natively about, let me know in the comments, please. I still really like the game. Don't get me wrong. It's really, really fun. These are just the flaws that I found. Okay, I actually have one more big negative to talk about this game. I actually just dislike the controls. The controls in Pikmin 1 and 2 on Switch, with the motion controls being able to only be used when you whistle or aim, is fine. That's how it is in this game. I didn't like it as much as just the normal pointer or gyro, but I got used to it and it worked. But what I don't like about it is I don't like this game's auto-lock. The auto-lock makes it really annoying to actually throw Pikmin where I want to throw them. Like when I'm trying to just, you know, use fire starters, it just decides to stay locked onto the fire starter, so I just end up throwing my guy in the air and he lands back down. Or if I'm trying to like freeze some water, sometimes it'll auto-lock onto something beside it, or an enemy or something in the water, and then my guys don't go in the water and freeze it, they do something I don't want them to do. And that part's really aggravating, honestly. And that one floor that I talked about with the little guys and the shear fleas in the Sage Leaf's trial is only really annoying because I'm trying to move stuff, and say I throw a purple, he does his little flip before he does his slam attack, and when he goes to do that, I'm trying to throw somewhere else, but because it's delayed, I end up throwing like 3 guys at the same enemy, so they all just end up doing nothing. It's not like, you know, the biggest deal, but it's just annoying. You know, if I were to say, hey Nintendo, change one thing about this game, make the lock-on work like Pikmin 3 Deluxe. Keep everything else the same. That's totally fine. Just let me at least turn off the auto-lock. because I don't like it, personally. Again, let me know if you agree or disagree with me in the comments below. I'm genuinely curious if people like the auto walk, because I didn't. Okay, I actually just remembered one more negative to talk about. Remember when I said that Pikmin 1's map screen was really fun? Remember when I said that Pikmin 2's map screen was less fun, but still fun? Remember when there was a map screen in Pikmin 3? Remember when Hey Pikmin had a cool globe? Remember Pikmin 4's map screen? Oh wait, there is none. It's just a menu now. I don't know how they possibly made the frickin' map screen worse in every subsequent game, but they did it! And that's it. That's all I've got. I think this game is amazing. You know, I have some problems with it, but in the end, it is genuinely one of the best games I have ever played. Nintendo has knocked it out of the park this year with sequels so far. I mean, we got Tears of the Kingdom and Pikmin 4 in the same year, and they're both amazing. I'm just in awe, you know? After waiting 10 years for this game, I have to say, honestly, it was worth it. And, you know, if this ended up selling poorly and we never got a Pikmin 5, I would be happy to say that the Pikmin series might be the most consistently good Nintendo franchise. And that's awesome. You know, this series means a lot to me, and, you know, going back and looking through all of these games and playing them again, in just telling all of you about it, you know? These things mean so much to me, and I am so happy I got to talk about it publicly like this. I love Pikmin. It's one of the best game franchises any company has ever made. And it's without a doubt one of the most charming and unique series Nintendo has ever output. I think Pikmin 4 is a fantastic game. And I'm not saying it is, but yeah, if this was the last one, I honestly say I'd be fine with that. I'm still hoping we get a Pikmin 5 one day, but I don't know. It's just, I'm just at a loss for words after I think I said everything I wanted to say. In conclusion, go buy this game. Do it. Spend your money on it, please. It's so good. I want a Pikmin 5. I know I just said that I'd be fine if this was the last game, and I would, but like, I want another one. They're so good. They're so fun. Go buy this game. Give Nintendo your money, please. But thank you all for watching, and please go play some Pikmin.
I have one last test for you.
What now?
My last trial is a question. What do you intend to do with the Game Boy?
I intend to bring peace and prosperity to this world. And I intend to make sure that we get Pikmin 5, no matter how long the wait. Sup peeps, it's N-Card Barty here with the ending of this big Pikmin retrospective. It's a compilation of all of my previous Pikmin videos. And I just want to say thanks everybody for watching the originals, and I created this version because I like long videos like this, like Ant Dude's SpongeBob video and Low Art's Full Metal Alchemist compared series compilations. These are some of my favorite things to watch on YouTube, so I wanted to make my own, and I had this whole series, almost 2 hours worth of full content. And I'm really happy that I was able to make this video. And thank you guys all so much for the support. I don't know when this video is going to come out. It'll probably be months, maybe even a year after I record this. So a lot will probably have happened since then. I don't even know if I'm still going to be making videos then. Who knows? But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.